We're here today to talk about homeowners associations. Are they good? Are they bad? Do you like them? Do you think you should have them? Do you think that they're unnecessary? We're going to go into some of that stuff today because we just recently moved. We closed in August of 2022. So we haven't been in our home that long, and we have had some experiences with our homeowner association. So we figured we'd come here to talk a little bit about it. So, yay or nay, babe? Do you like the homeowners association or do you not like it?
It's going to be 50-50 on the liking and not liking of the home association. Really understanding when we first moved here, by not being educated in the home association, where it actually came from, I believe that people would have home association neighborhoods where people that were upper middle class, the neighborhood was better and things like that, because that's what was portrayed to me in television, things like that. But seeing the home association, I understand now when people say, I don't want nobody to tell me exactly how I should conduct myself as in taking care of my property and things like that, because it becomes a nuisance.
And let me say this, because we have different experiences. I have experienced homeowners associations before. When I lived in Detroit, I had purchased a condo and I had an association then. So I knew about it, I had experienced it, but never in like a community type of situation as far as like having a house and being in a neighborhood. But go ahead.
So when you first get the house, because we had got into a new development, the neighborhood seemed as what you see on when they portray the future of the neighborhood. But as people stop moving in and after houses stop building, people stop moving in, you start seeing that every yard is somewhat the same. Every backyard is the same. Every house is either kind of they're different houses, but everything's the same. So the home association to me is basically keeping everything identical. Now, it's supposed to keep the value of the property up because you have a home association, but at the same time...
Good point. Do you think it does that? Do you feel like it lends itself to, at the very least, ensure that all the properties are kept to a certain standard, which does pour into the value of homes?
No, because I didn't even know we have a home association until I got here.
No, yes, you did, because they tell us that when we first started looking at all of the neighborhoods, when we were talking about moving, a lot of the areas that we were looking in and the neighborhoods that we were looking into had a homeowners associations, and our real estate person, they tell you that, and he told us that.
I wasn't really when the real estate person is talking to me, and from a man point of view, when a real estate person is talking to me, only thing I'm listening to is the price. You say home association, that doesn't transpire when you're talking to me. I'm looking at the price of the mortgage.
But remember, he told us that because that was one of the things that they always tell you, because there's a cost.
He can be.
There's a cost to it.
He can be telling me something that's like people. I'll be at work and people be like, "Hey man, I spoke to you." He could be talking to me, but my mind is somewhere else because I'm thinking about the mortgage. I'm not actually thinking about a home association and the benefit of it. But like I said, I've done my research after start having the home association letters.
Okay.
So having this home association letter. So home association originally was created. I forgot, but back in the days when they were trying to keep minorities out of the communities, and to keep the minorities out of the communities, they had the idea that minorities didn't want to pay the extra fees or they couldn't afford it. So that's when the home association really came about and was really designed for, to keep the neighborhood with a certain ethnic group in there and to keep another ethnic group out. So they was like, hey, you want your neighborhood not to have this group here that falls below the financial bracket. We're going to charge an extra $500. And when they hear that extra $500, they're not going to spend it because the extra $500 in their household means more to your household. So that's how we keep the neighborhood. that's where the home association originally come from. And if anybody want to know more on it, you can Google and start researching for it. And I just found that out recently.
So your answer is you do not feel that homeowners associations assist in keeping property value up? You're saying that you don't?
To me, it doesn't keep the property value up.
It doesn't assist in keeping the property value.
It assists in keeping the property value up to a certain extent. But I've looked around and I don't see the value is rising because of the home association. Because on my other job, where I drive trucks sometimes, we made delivery to a bigger, more expensive property. The houses around there were about $400,000 up. And the lady was out there with her kids watching us deliver some sheetrocks. And it was an older community. And I was telling her, I was like, yeah, me and my wife, we got that home association. You know, they telling us we got to put the water holes up and things like that. She said, yeah, we had that 15 or 20 years ago. I said, how do you mean y'all have it? It's still a nice neighborhood. She said, as the neighborhood gets older, the home association doesn't really have the appeal to the owners there because they have already settled into their homes. She was saying the home association has an appealing to new home buyers. But she said after about 5 to 7 years, she said people are not going to keep keeping their property up to that level. And then eventually the home association, she said, will go away. Because
I've never heard of that before.
That's what she was telling me, because she said they used to have the home association.
I think she's mistaken. Or she's saying they used to in one neighborhood and then they moved and now they don't in their new neighborhood?
No, they're in that neighborhood. She said they had it. But she said after about 10 years or so, she said they didn't have it no more because the upkeep of the properties and things became more expensive. So they do away with it. So she was explaining to me, and it makes sense. She said, as a new home buyer, you're looking at all these things. So, but as you settle in and property and everything get more expensive, and then your home association fees, and almost like what's the thing where people go, they get those they rent like hotels, timeshare. She said it kept going up. So she said they got rid of it, meaning the community got rid of it. So I don't know how they got rid of it. It wasn't there no more, she said. Because I look at her fence, she said, you see why these fences are not kept up? Because the home association will make you keep these fences up.
Okay, so then you're making a point.
Yeah, but keeping the fence up is an expensive thing. And then the home association say it makes you keep certain things up in a neighborhood, and the expense keep getting more and more expensive.
But let's stick to that point. So if she used an example of the fences or whatever, to me that is a good example that's a good pro to having an association, because it makes sure that people are doing what they should to make sure that their property looks a certain way to keep the value up. So to me, she kind of she was saying one thing about, okay, we got rid of it, okay, yeah, and now that you guys got rid of it, now your property value has probably gone down because people aren't keeping the property.
But I think what she's saying is what a community can afford. It's like 15 years from now, there can be changes within our community, and the changes can be economics in the economy, and it can affect all the households. So one time, we paying $2,000 in the fence. Oh, that's okay. Now I'm putting $2,000 in the fence for a person that might be elderly, that been in that community for 20-something years, that is not bringing the income in that she did 20 years ago. That's the difference between her eating for the next 3 or 4 months. That's the difference between somebody paying child care for the next 5 or 6 months. So I think that what she was saying is that it became so expensive everybody keeping everything up, till they did away with it. Now, how they did away with it, I would do research on how a home association can leave a community, or how it can be away from the community.
Excuse us, y'all. We got so many alarms. Okay, that was good. So, like, what about, okay, so let's talk about
Hello, Guardian. The time is 1 p.m.
You know that. Let's talk about the pros.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Sorry about that. The pros and the cons.
Currently in Harvest, it's 58
Oh my
degrees
God.
and cloudy. Today,
The pros and cons of an homeowners association. So, what are the good things that you've seen? By this being your first experience with homeowner association, now we haven't been here long, but we have had some experiences already. And we'll talk about the cons too, but right now, what do you feel the positive things are from this little bit of time that we have experienced it? What are some of the good things of having a homeowners association? Because we know people that live here in our same area that live in, nice neighborhoods, but they happen to not have a homeowners association. And we've heard some of their gripes as a result of that. But what do you think the good things are?
Well, the good thing is that you can be assured that your area looks as well kept as the other area, and nobody can introduce things that are out of the norm that makes your house stand out for anybody else's house. But
only the good stuff right now.
Yeah, that makes your house stand out from everybody else. And I guess that's a good thing, because if you feel that your yard is the best kept, or you feel your home is outstanding, then that's a good thing if everybody else is on the same level as you.
Okay, I agree. I think another good thing, that you basically covered everything. It keeps everybody on the same standard where everything looks nice. So I agree with that. I think another good thing is I feel like it draws a certain caliber of people, like people who, like, if they're going around and looking for homes and they're okay with having a homeowners association, I feel like those people have a certain mindset to where they don't mind the fact that there is an entity there in that community that is going to make sure that certain standards are met, and they're going to make sure that certain changes and things have to be voted on and approved first before anything can happen. And I think that you have a certain group of people who's not going to like that, and it kind of deters them from saying, I don't want to move into that community, or I don't even want to rent in that community because I'm going to have to do boom, 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 and boom. Whereas I can go over here and I don't have to worry about that. I can do whatever I want to my house. I can keep my house to whatever standard I want to because there is no association. So I think that's a good thing. I think that it can, not always, but I think it can deter those people who don't want to kind of follow the rules and fall in line, which is a good thing for those that are already in the community.
Well,
it ain't foolproof.
Well,
but,
being in this community, I've seen people that does not fall in that category. What
happens, because that has happened to us, not purposely. We didn't know. And they will send you a letter in a minute, and they will fine you.
They will send you.
So you still have to be on top of it. You know what I'm saying?
They will send you a letter, but
you can try to do what you want to if you want to, but you ain't gonna be able to keep doing that.
Yeah, they will send you a letter, but that
doesn't hold you
that won't change your.
Not just a letter, though, a fine. They will fine you too.
But that won't change your.
Yes, it will.
That won't change your type of neighbors and how they carry themselves as neighbors. But it will deter them from what they do to their property. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, people are gonna be who they are. But I'm saying if they get enough letters and get fined enough, they're gonna say, well, okay, well, you know what, we can't do this. Well, we're not talking about property now. We just talking about, like I said, home association was right
now we're talking about the pros, the good. We'll talk about the cons.
The pros. We already spoke about the pros.
So you don't have any more.
It's more cons.
So you done? We don't have no more pros.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, it was created again to keep a certain group of key people out, And when they said keep a certain group of people out, it wasn't really pertaining on how they kept their yard. It was how they conduct themselves as people with neighbors. So the home association might keep somebody's yard, but the type of people you dealing with, it will still bring those type of people that are not, I can say that are not neighborly people. Like for instance, we encountered an incident where somebody was looking at a house, but their kids was just in the car blowing the horn, playing the horn. And when the person came out the house, and I was like, oh, I thought something was going on because the kids kept blowing the horn. They act like they didn't care. It was like it was a big deal to them. So at the same time, that home association didn't deter that individual. You can have neighbors that they can get letters all day, but the home association say, hey, you got to pick up paper out your yard. Okay, they'll send about 5 letters. That person pick up paper out the yard. But again, they'll put paper back in their yard. Again, they just keep getting letters. They fix it and they keep getting letters.
Not letters, fines though.
I
think that the fine is what it is. The letter is one thing, but the letter comes with a warning of if you don't have this rectified within so many days, you will be fined. And then that fine will continue to go up. And I know that's one thing people don't want. They don't want to be owing large amounts of money for something that they've been given the opportunity to correct.
And just like kids, you know, kids play, but you have your property you bought, and kids are playing in your property. They're in your yard. I mean, that's why a lot of property fences are going up. So then when you say, okay, home associations was supposed to keep me not want to put a property fence up because all the people that's in your areas should be on the same level, but private fences are coming up like clockwork now.
But I disagree with that. I think that because we always, when we decided we were going to move, we always said that we wanted a privacy fence. And I feel like a privacy fence is just that. It just gives you and your family privacy. It doesn't have anything to do with the other people. I just want my own privacy. I want to be able to go out and my daughter can go outside and not have to necessarily worry about people looking or seeing what we're doing over here in our yard. You know, if we want to have a little small barbecue, if we want to invite some, you know, friends or family over, or if we just want to sit out and have a cup of tea or coffee on our back patio, we don't have to worry about feeling like people are gawking and looking and just, you know, being nosy for no reason. So to me, that's what a privacy fence is for. It just simply provides you privacy versus your yard just being open to whoever wants to see. And also too, like I said, we have a small child. She's only 3 and, you know, she likes to go outside and play. And we just felt like it would be better for us to have a privacy fence, you know, so that she could also be protected and have fun and we not have to worry about whatever. And I think they're good if you have pets. Now, we don't have a pet, but if we were to have a pet, to me, that's another good reason to have a privacy fence because it keeps your pet in your yard. You don't have to worry about them running over, pooping in other people's yards and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I would say overall, so we're going to end now because he keeps telling us how much time we got.
We're supposed to do only 7 minutes. It's almost 19 minutes. So we're
into it. This is not a bad thing. We're into it. But I would just end. I guess we could both give our closing thoughts. For me, I think it's I think it's better to have a homeowners association than to not have one. But I do understand the frustrations of having one because it can be a nuisance, especially when you're new to a community and you're trying to get your home together and you want to do certain things and having to get every little single thing approved and you possibly not reading every single word in the handbook, and then you've done something wrong that you didn't even know was wrong, and now you're getting letters on this and letters on that, and you're going to be fined on this, and that can get annoying. But I feel like overall, having it is a good thing, and having it is better than not having it because you have people who need to be kept in line, and it does at least do that. What are your closing thoughts?
Get you a house in the country and get your own land.
if you can afford that. But if you can't, what are your thoughts? For those that can't. Sorry, guys, we ended abruptly here, but this was our take on associations, and we will see you next time.